What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Brendan and I'm BManX45, and today we're coming at you with another video. We have our battle report update for the Ultimate Cup. This was the Play TCG Ultimate Cup on April 13th. I've been playing all day. I'm tired. All I see is card combinations, and I really can't deal with talking to people right now. It definitely puts me out of my social situation, but I had a fun time. It was a lot of great matchups. Didn't have any players that I didn't like. It's always nice when you are really happy with the people you play against. You learn a lot and you have a lot of fun. I didn't do as well as I was hoping to do. 143rd. Didn't get in top 128. Didn't get in top 64. So no burning Greymons for me, unfortunately. But I'm hoping that I will do better next time, and we're going to keep going, and we had a lot of fun. And we get our prize support anyways, so we'll get our Flame Mon, so that's really cool. And hey, if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for notifications so you miss a single minute of the fun. Without further ado, let's get into it. We'll talk about the deck. I took Red Hybrid once again. One of my favorite decks. Just super, super good. The Ukamon's super good. I decided to drop the Yokomon from last week. I didn't really want to see it, and honestly, it never came up that I needed the 5th egg. If it came up that I needed the 5th egg, I was already losing the game, and the 5th egg wouldn't have done me any good. So I did like just the 4 Koromons, although I did think about Digimon this time around, because there's sometimes when I would love it if my Crimson Blaze was 7k instead of 6. So that would have been interesting. Unfortunately, no, there's no Digimons in the deck. I don't think it's really worthwhile. You're not going to get it off enough to make it worthwhile if you play 2 Digimons and 3 Koromons. I ran into a player who was doing that, and it's not a bad idea, but I just don't think it's my kind of play style. Flame Mons again. I dropped the second BT4 Flame Mon. I didn't mind that at all. He's not as good as the other two. So only having one of him was not that big of a thing. That allowed me to play a 3rd Crimson Blaze, which I thought was going to be very crucial. There's a lot of times I need Crimson Blaze and I just can't get it. Today I did use Crimson Blaze a number of times to varying degrees of effect. I did play a lot of decks though that just didn't do anything against. So unfortunately, when I draw a couple of that in my hands, that wasn't any good. But the champion lineup's still solid. I like the 11, the 4, 4, and 3. You always got to play the 4 Alderman. I'm still playing the 1 Garudamon Ace. Now, I could see dropping this, but it's a fun tech, and I don't really see, I could play more Gravity Crushes. I could play another. If anything, I would drop it and play a 3rd Atomic Inferno, because Atomic Inferno is great. In fact, I lost to a hybrid matchup with it, where he played 2 Atomic Infernos in one turn, and so I definitely think that might be somewhere I go. Maybe I'll drop the Garudamon, but I think it's pretty strong. Then of course the rest of the line is pretty self-explanatory. I did like the red Memboosts over 2 Gravity Crushes. There's a number of times they got hit out of security. They were really good. There's a number of times I opened with that and an Uko, and it was basically like opening a Searcher. So again, was really, really valuable for me. The red Memboosts put in a lot of work. I definitely think I would keep 2 red Memboosts. I didn't mind the 1 Gravity Crush. Whenever I needed a Gravity Crush, I only needed 1 to make my play. So I think that in general, the only thing that I was a little disappointed was that I had to take Atomic down to 2. But for most of the matchups, I didn't mind it until that last hybrid matchup when I got a double Atomic Inferno'd for game. That was where things kind of got sad for me. So I definitely think that there's a few different things that you can do with the deck, and there's a lot of cool different options. So we'll go through my matchups here. Like I said, I got 143rd place. My record was, out of 8 rounds, was X, 1, and 3. So I won 4, tied once, and lost 3. I started out the day horribly, misplaying hard against Black War Greymon. First match, I had a good enough opening hand, and I shouldn't have mulliganed. I had a Flame Mon in hand, and a few other cards, and I mulliganed into something worse. Usually my rule is, if you have a level 3 in hand, don't mulligan, because it can always be worse. And there's been a few times I haven't listened to myself, and usually I end up paying for it, like 75% of the time. So that was my first big mistake of the day, and followed up by game 2. I had the game. I needed to attack over his stack, and the black war gray, or he had the level 5. He didn't have, or no, he had the black war gray. I could digivolve up into would have been Aldemon, I think, or the main guy, and pop him and attack over him. I made the mistake of attacking with the Ukamon or the Flamemon, whatever I had raised, from raising first, because I wanted to potentially bait out anything that I needed to because I didn't want to, attack with the other guy, attack with the Uko and have my stack get killed. Well, that was the issue. That was the problem, because I forgot about Black War Greymon's ability to restand when my Uko died off the security check. That ruined the game for me. I couldn't pop him because he was unaffected by effects, and he had the BT11 Greymon X in there, so that was just it. The game spiraled out of my control from there. So huge misplay, because I forgot about the unsuspendability. So it's always good to try and remember or ask for card effects if you haven't played against a card in a long time. And I played BT8 Black War Greymon a lot, so I just completely blanked on it, unfortunately, and that cost me the game. Game 2, I played against a Oriumon Regna Lordmon deck, and that Crimson Blaze is no good against that deck, because they just, as soon as they get into level 5, which is like right away, they only have one stack, so the Crimson Blaze doesn't do anything against that deck. I did manage to tie against that. I won first match, lost second match, and then we didn't even make it to the third. It's a very slow deck, and it just takes up all your time. And then in game 3, I lost to my first Deva's Force Sovereign deck that I've ever played. That deck was annoying. Just the constant putting me to 7 and not caring. I'm pretty sure that deck is more consistent than Royal Knights. I liked Royal Knights, but there was some serious inconsistencies with Royal Knights. That deck was a lot more consistent, and I can see why people are running Digimons just so they can get their Crimson Blazes up to 7K. That's kind of funny. And then, so that was my start. My first 3 rounds, 2 losses and a tie, so nothing great. I decided to stick with it because I figured if I managed to win all my rounds and we went to 9, I could potentially get top 64. Really hard thing to do, but I managed to win 4 consecutive rounds after that, beating out Leomon, my first red hybrid matchup, a Armor Rush deck, and a Leviamon deck, which was intense, and I did not think I was going to win the Leviamon matchup. So that one was really on the fence. And then, of course, we only went to around 8, which would have, unfortunately, I wouldn't have got top 64 because we only went to round 8. But I probably might have made the cut for top. I would have definitely made the top cut for top 128 had I won my last match. It was another hybrid matchup, unfortunately. And I won game 1, lost game 2, and then game 3, I got atomic to death. Things were good. I mean, my hands were a little bit bricky because I had tons of Tamers in my hands, but no Digimons to play. So I ended up Digivolving up, kind of going Agunimon, burning Agunimon, which was really nice because it made it so that if I had an Emperor in hand, I could go right into the Takuya. The only problem with that was my opponent had more stuff on the field. I wasn't willing to kill his stuff because I didn't want to put Tamers on the board, which might have not been the best play looking back on it now. He had the kind of same thing as me. We were attacking back and forth, and he just managed. I hit one of his Takuyas off one of my checks. He had 2 cards left. I still had, I think, 3 or 4 checks, and he was pushing up an Uko. He was pushing up an Uko with a Flamemon and another guy on the field. And then unfortunately, from there, things just didn't go well for me. He played double atomic after attacking with the Uko, and then went through all 3 of my security and then attacked for game. And that's how the deck goes. And so again, like, atomic's a great card. I don't think 4 is necessary. I think 4 is way too much overkill. But I do like 3, and maybe I would drop that Garudamon Ace and put the atomic back up to 3. It's hard because having that many options just seems a little bit, you get 3 atomic, 3 crimson, and 2 red. I wouldn't take the Gravity Crush up, not with running multiple, like 3 atomics and 3 crimsons. I would leave the red boosts in because at least they can search you, something you need. But I do like 3 crimson. I think that is the way to go. And I just don't think I could have done anything better. Like, I could have definitely done my misplays better. But after that, like, I was playing really smart all day long. Like I said, red hybrid's really just a matchup of, what did you get and how fast can you go. So if you can go fast and kill your opponent 1 turn, you win. If you cannot kill your opponent and you get a bunch of tamers off for them, they will kill you the next turn. And unfortunately, that he was able to, because he had the atomics, he was able to just go for game. And so, yeah, that's unfortunate, but it's how it goes sometimes. I think he would have had game regardless, because he had, even without checking security, yeah, he wouldn't. Other than if he hit a Crimson Blaze and I killed his small monster, that would have been the only thing really, which would have been nice, but it was not meant to happen. Anyways, but yeah, that is the deck profile. That is the tournament Ultimate Cup. I will be getting just regular prizing, which is unfortunate because I really want those Burning Greymons. I don't really have to care about the Agunimons because I have really nice Agunimons already. I wouldn't mind them. I mean, I just don't want to pay for them. I'd rather win them if at all possible. I did win 2 of my Guillaumons and 2 of my Growlmons and War Growlmons from the last set, which last year for Ultimate Cup. So, I mean, I didn't have to pay for everything. So that was really nice. Yeah, and I definitely like the artworks of these cards, so I'm hoping I still got 1 more Ultimate Cup in... One more Ultimate Cup in May. I didn't get to go to both of them, but I will be signing up for the July Ultimate Cup, which just got announced, which is really nice. So I will have 2 more Ultimate Cups. So I'll at least get my Flame Mons, and maybe I can get a couple Burning Greys if I'm lucky. I'm just going to really have to play it safe and really pick out my deck. If I'm going to play this deck again, I'm going to have to make some changes potentially, or just leave things there and keep practicing. It's a really great deck, and it continues to be one of the best decks of the format, but it is very finicky, and you have to be careful because one wrong play can cost you the game. And honestly, your opponent just having a really good hand can cost you the game sometimes, and that's just the game of Digimon. But anyways, tell me what you guys think. Do you guys like this build better than the last week's build? We'll continue to do battle report updates as long as you guys enjoy them, and thank you for your time, and hopefully if you went to the tournament you did well too, and I hope you had a good time. I know I did. It was, like I said, great players. Every single one of them. I really enjoyed the matches, so thank you to them for that and the experience, and we'll try it again next time in May. And hey, looks like that's all the time we have for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we hope to see you in the next video. And now, as always, have a wonderful day, and that's all for now, folks.